Hello everyone, and welcome to Clothweaver. Let us continue our tutorial. Now we will learn how to work with the templates. So when you first open Clothweaver, you are presented with this panel, the template panel. Let's start off by creating a shirt guide. So we click this and we can see it's right here. So let's scale it. And using G on our keyboard and the Y and X buttons to move it up and down, and Z, we kind of want to align this to our character. That should be about right. Check the side. Okay, and now let's click Use Shirt Guide. Go over to the Design tab. Okay, are you using the following character types? Avastar, Manuel Bastoni, IMVU. We currently aren't, but if you tick mark these, Clothweaver will adjust some of the cloth settings. Up here we have a show tips and info button, at least on the latest version. Okay. First, select our character and hit Add Collision to Character. Click. Over in the Modifier tab, we want to move this collision modifier up. Let's keep it above the multi-res because our preview is a 1. If the subdivision surface was up to like a 3 or 4 and you had the collision above it, which is technically below it on the menu, it will bog down the simulation because it has so many vertices to calculate. It will slow it down. So if you're using a lot of geometry, you'll want to move it up, but right now we can have it over here. Now let's click on the other clothing items of our character and add collisions as well. Let's turn down our subdivisions to a 1 on the viewport. Same with down here. Let's add a collision. Turn down the viewport. Now let's go over to our templates again. And here we have a wide variety of items to choose from. New templates are added frequently. Let's choose one of the more complicated ones, such as the hoodie. So just click in this area. Here we've selected the hoodie. And we want to make sure Use Shirt Guide is checked so Clothweaver knows to align the hoodie template to our guide. If you didn't, it's going to be small. And we need to have something selected for the Clothweaver panel to appear down here. So let's hit Use Shirt Guide and now create the 2D hoodie. And now it is aligned to our character. Let's go into our side view and make sure that it is not touching our character. Okay. Ignore the texture for now. That's default. So go over to the Design panel and let's use triangles for the cloth simulation. That will give us more detail. Automatically attach and sew. I will demonstrate this later. Select clothing before pressing put on. Okay. Our clothing is selected. It is highlighted. If you don't have it selected, it's going to bog down the simulation, especially if you select your character, because it will try to deform that. So make sure you select your clothing before pressing put on. So let's press it. And let's hide the hair really quick. Let's make sure the hair is hidden because it's kind of in the way at the moment. Just going to press H to hide it. Okay. Okay, not looking bad. Not too bad. But what I want to do, I'm going to go ahead and delete it. And now I need to select something. I'm going to hit Reveal under the Backups option. And now it brings back... Oh, hide the hair again. Now it brings back our hoodie template. Okay. What I want to do is go into edit mode. Make sure I have enough vertices. Okay. Looks like a decent number. You can always add more if need be. But if you need to add more this way, then you gotta bridge those loops, which I will cover in the custom tutorial. Okay, so that looks alright. So if you ever make a mistake and need to go back, you have your backups option, which is very useful. So put on clothing again. Okay, I'm going to pause the timeline, take a look at this. And let's just kind of go through here and just pick a point that we feel looks great. The cloth is rested. Nothing's really poking out. Okay, see all these, of course, gaps where the cloth comes together. That's where the sewing option comes in handy. So click Sew Clothing. Give it a moment. All right. Now let's pause this real quick. Okay, so it stitched everything together, but it's running a little slow. So what we want to do Alright, let's click our character. Like some of the other items. Let's make sure. Let's keep our collision above. Some of these other items. Because at the moment it's running a little slow. Okay. So we're moving that up the hierarchy. And let's go ahead and enter edit mode on the 0 frame of our clothing. And I just want to select a couple points. Click on proportional editing. Hit G. And now I just want to kind of move the clothing away from the body a little. Okay. And we can keep that a little in. Especially right up here, it's poking out a little. The cloth underneath is poking out, so keep it like that. I think the hood could come out just a little. Okay. Hit tab again to get out of edit mode. We can let the simulation run for a bit. Once we are satisfied with how it looks, so here's this frame. If we go back, it actually looks better on one of these frames. Okay. So from here you can either apply the clothing modifier and then proceed to rig it to your character rig, which we will discuss in a further tutorial. Typically you will apply the clothing simulation, rig the clothing to the character, and then on top of that add another simulation. So this way the cloth follows the rig first, and then the simulation follows that. So now I've just added a blank color to the hoodie, so that way I can demonstrate how the pocket works. So if we create a pocket, it appears down here. Let's kind of move it up. Okay, I want to align it right about there. That should be good. Okay, so go back to the design tab. You'll see if we select the pocket, it says you have selected a pocket. Please define the clothing. Let's extend this so we can read it. Please define the clothing to attach it to. Select your clothing, okay. Press button 4, define clothing. Then select the pocket again. Now press put on clothing. Okay, so we select the hoodie, the clothing, define clothing, cloth equals hoodie, select our pocket, then hit put on clothing. Ooh, oh. All right, let's see. Can we get it to look a little better? I think we can. So let's delete it and hit reveal. Now we didn't delete our hoodie backup, so it's probably going to show up again. Yep, so we're going to delete it permanently this time. And now let's go into edit mode on the pocket and let's select the side vertices. Press B to mask select. And I'm just going to drag this on the Y. Kind of move it over here. Like that. Alright. Select the hoodie. Go to the modifier tab. Yeah, we added a collision to that. Let's go ahead and move this collision above. Oh yeah, you definitely want to move that above any solidifier modifiers. And that's hidden, right? I think it is, yeah. Okay. Selecting the pocket one more time. Put on clothing. And these, you can tweak these if necessary. I find these values here to be, that was a 5. I find those values to work, depending on the scale of your character, of course. Put on clothing. Pause the simulation. It's not bad. So selecting our pocket, we're going to press sew clothing. And let's see here. Let's hide that real quick. What do we have? Let's move it just a tiny bit. Okay. Okay. That's, yeah, not bad, not bad. Then of course we can change the material on that. That will be covered in another tutorial. Sunglasses. You'll notice, as I forgot to mention, the majority of these templates have a 2D version and a 3D version. A 3D version, of course, will be, you know, already assembled. Let's create some glasses. Whoa, those are huge. Need to scale those down a little. Alright. It's even got the little nose pads, or whatever you call those. Sure. Cool. So that's how the templates work. Let's create a little pillow. All right. Where did it go? There it is. We got our 3D pillow, of course. And then we can also create the 2D pillow. Oh yes, there is a texture on it. The default cloth weaver texture. Again, that will be covered in the texture tutorial. And you'll see it also depends on which render engine we are using. You can see it imported the Eevee shader. Now if we click it again, it should import the Cycles cloth weaver shader. Haha. Yes, use triangles for that. Put on clothing. Ooh, that simulation happened a bit too fast. I want to delete it. Click on something and then hit reveal. I want to change that sewing force to a 0.5 to make it slower. Okay, well, I think, yes, what we need to do, hey, we're going to use that cube that's down there. So the cube is not for nothing. Hit reveal. Select that cube. Scale it down. Okay, I want to use it as like a proxy or a reference to give it some dimension, right? Yeah, let's just hit add collision to character and then hit put on clothing. Okay, that gives our pillow a bit of reference. Let's actually, I wonder, let's try this. Delete that again, hit reveal. Put on clothing, yes. It disappeared for some reason. Let's go to that first frame. I want to hit sew clothing. Oh no, that's interesting. What's happening? Okay, something is wrong there. I think our hidden item was acting up. Okay, so that's how you can add influence other objects. You could do the same with the bag as well. And I would encourage you to experiment and see what you can come up with. More on that in the custom tutorial. I hope this tutorial was very informative. This is how you use the templates